Trust is not built during the performances. Trust is built in the everyday small conversations that no one hears. Everything started as a young girl. My parents took my 3 brothers and I to the Bagotville International Air Show. It's this group of 9 red and white jets. The precision of their figures, crosses that they did, but seeing that, it just left me wondering, what kind of person, what kind of pilot is in that cockpit? I discovered aviation as a young girl in the Air Cadets. That's where I learned about leadership. I learned about discipline, teamwork. So I joined the Royal Canadian Air Force, and over 22 years, I flew 3,500 hours on 4 main types of airplanes and was posted to 10 different bases across the country. In November 2000, my dream of becoming a Snowbird pilot came true. I was thrilled beyond words. I was now Snowbird 3. From the ground, you look at this formation and it almost looks effortless. In the air, it is total concentration, and safety obviously is paramount. Trust is not built during the performances. Trust is built in the everyday small conversations that no one hears. When you're flying like this, you have a real small envelope that you can maneuver in. Because as an example, for me, number 2, just to the right of lead, I had number 8 flying off my wing. So if I was having a bad day, number 8 was also having a bad day because he's trying to see through me to look at lead to get his cues to follow the entire formation. He trusted me with his life, and I trusted him with my life. It wouldn't take much when you're 2 meters apart in turbulence that we would clip wings. So many contracts, but trust is really the foundation of this 9-ship flying. In the spring of 2012, my leadership was tested quite a bit. The team was ready to go on the road. They had done all the training in the winter. The show was accepted. And the night before they get on the road, the team lead calls me at home and he says, "Can I go to see you?" He shared with me that they had had an issue with one of the 9 pilots in the formation for quite some time, and that the 8 pilots had lost trust in this one demonstration pilot. So the next day, as the jets are all lined up, I had to bring this pilot in my office and give him a real difficult no, because I really believe that leadership is not about the easy yes. Leadership is about the difficult no. The difficult no to ensure that all members are safe, that the crowd is safe. You cannot have someone that you don't trust in their formation when you're at 300 feet from the ground, 300 knots with 9 airplanes in formation. How many conversations, situation, discussions, events, that depending who you are and depending on your background, people all have different perspectives. And I looked at this, I'm like, and then I look at it again, I'm like, yeah, well, the mountains are there and the sky is where it should be. And I think as leaders, it is important to be able to see this entire situation, not just from our own vantage point, but you need to sit back sometimes and relax and think about someone else's perspective and how they see the situation. People are always watching. They are always looking at what you're doing. And oftentimes, we don't even know that we inspired them, but we may change their life. In June 2001, on my first year on the team, in the first month of me doing air shows, we went to Quebec City. I got to do a show in front of my friends, my family, everyone there. But what I didn't know on that day, there was this young girl in the audience that watched me fly. She was about 10 or 11. And that day, Seeing the Snowbirds perform, seeing me perform, she decided she wanted to be a military pilot, and she decided that one day, maybe she could be a Snowbird. So she joined the Air Cadets, and then you know what? Several years later, Captain Sarah Dallaire became the second woman to be with the Snowbirds. And you know, this just speaks to the power of inspiration, of role models. Both Sarah and I are products of that. I saw the Snowbirds as a little girl, and it just changed my life. And I decided to then become a military pilot. And Sarah did the same thing. These lessons for me, they were not learned in the sky. They were learned through people, through trust, and through teamwork. And you know, the limits that are there are only the limits that we set ourselves. Inspiration is important, inspiration is required, especially for our country at this time where there's so much going on internationally, and we can inspire the young generation and as well as our colleagues and co-workers. Thank you.